Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to look at Toxtricity V. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Well, hang on a second, Wassy. Didn't we already look at Toxtricity V? And the answer is yes. We totally did look at Toxtricity V. Turns out, there is a second Toxtricity V. Now, I do need to give a massive shout out here to @CapuRicky over on Twitter, who did alert me to the fact that I hadn't actually covered this. And when I replied going, no, I looked at Toxtricity V 2 months ago, replied with, no, you looked at the other one 2 months ago. So the other one, we will do a quick comparison at the end of the video, but long story short, the other one is a promo, which is going to be coming out in its own box. This one is actually going to be in Rebel Crash itself, the set that's going to be coming out in May, about which I did a video just earlier today. Obviously, we've got Toxtricity V Max as well. I will, again, have a quick look at that at the end of the video. So, this new Toxtricity then, what do we see? Well, we start off with 210 HP, which is fine for a Pokemon V. It's not great, it's not terrible, it's fine, it's on the higher end. Retreat cost of 2, which isn't ideal, but does open us up to using Air Balloon, which is quite nice for the whole, then it lets you retreat for free kind of thing. And weakness to fighting. Honestly, fighting's not a big type right now. The problem is there are plenty of other lightning Pokemon like Pikachu and Zekrom that are really big, so there is a decent chance that people are going to start playing more fighting stuff, which is going to be bad for this. Incidentally, all these basics are the same as the other Toxtricity. But you're a lightning Pokemon, and on the one hand that means weakness against water Pokemon like Lapras V Max if that gets really big, but far more importantly it means Electro Power to do a little bit of extra damage. It means Thunder Mountain Prism Star to reduce your attack cost. It means Tapu Koko Prism Star to accelerate a little bit of energy, and that's all shaping up rather nicely indeed. So that's the basics, but what does it do? Well, our translation here comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet, along with David Hockman, our very favourite translator over on this channel. And the first attack, for 1 lightning energy, does 20 damage plus poison. And you know what? That's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. Because you see, 20 damage plus poison's really 30 damage, but it's only 30 damage if you don't increase the amount of poison and if it gets rid of that turn. If you've got something your opponent really wants to be attacking with in the active, you hit them with this, they get poisoned, and then they're in this really annoying situation where, well, do they try and get out of the poison? Or do they just accept the poison and just take an extra 10 damage between turns? Maybe. Plus, it is a single energy on a basic Pokemon, so it's not exactly a difficult attack to get using. Now, the counter argument here is that rather than doing 20 damage plus poison with this, we could use more Pico V to do 20 to the active and 20 to one of the bench, or we could use Tapu Koko V to do 20 to the active while drawing 2 cards. So even though it is a really nice turn 1 attack if we've not got much else, worth pointing out, there are 2 Lightning Pokemon V that actually do potentially have better single energy attacks. And let's not forget Tapu Koko V does have free retreat. Now, in terms of poison here, well, we'll get there in a minute. Let's mention the second attack quickly. 2 Lightning, 1 colorless energy, 90 damage, not particularly good. If the defending Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 90 more damage. Oh yeah, no, that's actually much, much better. 180 for free energy is pretty nice. I mean, I was talking about Copperaja yesterday, and that does 180 for 4 energy. 180 for free energy is good. However, do need to bear in mind that it's only while they're poisoned. Now, of course, the first attack does 20 damage plus poison. If they're still in the active next turn, then you can get going with this, but it's not always going to happen. Of course, it also means that absolute bare minimum here, you're hitting 190. If you poison them during your turn and then hit them, you're doing 190. That's pretty good. So what we really need here is ways to pay the energy and ways to poison. Now, paying the energy is just the usual thing. Thunder Mountain Prism Star to bring it down to a 2 energy attack, Tapu Koko Prism Star to accelerate 2 energy, 1 to each of 2 bench Pokemon, one of them's at least one of these, and then you attach for the turn and you're rolling. The energy isn't a problem. As for the poison, we've got a few options. I mean, we do have those Pokemon that poison when you attack them, like Quillfish, but honestly, if you're going down that route, you're probably better off just using the first attack on Toxtricity. We do have a Stage 2 Vileplume that poisons on a coin flip, or confuses, or puts them to sleep, or burns them. You do get your choice of special condition, as long as you don't want to choose Paralysis. That would be a bit too good. Of course, the best one is a Pokemon, and I promise you I will do a video on this one. We just haven't got there yet. We've had, I think, 19 videos worth of news coming out in the past 2 or 3 days. I'm getting there. That's why we got so many videos. Believe me, we ain't staying at 5 videos a day for long. We just need to for a minute because I care about bringing you all the news when it happens. I don't want you waiting several days for news. So we do many videos. We'll get back down to 2 shortly. Don't worry about it. And we got the new Garboda. New Garboda, awesome. The new Garboda's just got an ability that poisons you. If there's a stadium in play. If there's a stadium in play, you may poison your opponent's active Pokemon. It's good. And that's got to be your preferred option here. Get Garboda out. I mean, to be honest, it's a stage 1, right? So you can always use Ditto Prism Star to play it as a literally 1-card tech, where you're playing Ditto anyway, so you just play a single Garboda just in case. And then all of a sudden, you poison them with Garboda, and then you hit for 180 for free energy. My problem here, and it is a fairly significant problem, if I want to play a Pokemon V that's a Lightning Basic, and I'm putting free energy on, why am I playing this over Tapu Koko? Because for free energy, for the same attack cost, Tapu Koko just does 200 rather than 180 if they're poisoned. And the first attack does 20 damage plus draws 2 cards, and it's got free retreat. Okay, it loses 10 HP over Toxtricity, but yeah. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm playing Tapu Koko V over this. In a vacuum, when we're just looking at this Toxtricity, I don't think it gives us any compelling reason to play it over Tapu Koko. But we've got Toxtricity V Max, and I do like Toxtricity V Max. Toxtricity V Max goes up to 320 HP, that's gigantic, and if the defending Pokemon is poisoned, you do 240. Oh. And that is more than you can do with something like Tapu Koko. In fact, if you look at the widely played Lightning Pokemon at the moment, 240 is more than any of them do. So in that regard, we might need Toxtricity V, because I do like Toxtricity V Max. So now, rather than looking at it just in terms of I'm playing this on its own, we can look at it as which Toxtricity V do I want to play, bearing in mind I might be wanting to play Toxtricity V Max. Well, the HP is the same, the weakness is the same, the resistance is the same, the retreat cost is the same. Okay. Now, in terms of the first attack, 20 damage plus poison is better than attach a lightning energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. I don't like attacks which do no damage and just put extra energy on the active, because you're essentially sitting in the active, accelerating energy, letting your opponent have a free hit on a 2-prize Pokemon, and if they KO you, you've done nothing and just let them hit into you. It's not good. Whereas 20 damage plus poison, really nice for, well, setting up Toxtricity V Max. And bearing in mind, we've got that muck that keeps poison around if you evolve or devolve, plus we've got Dust Island that keeps poison around if they use a trainer card to get out the active, meaning the only way to actually get around poison is to manually retreat. Otherwise, it sticks around. So for that reason, the first attack goes to the new Toxtricity. Second attack, I mean, look, your choices are new Toxtricity, 180 if they're poison, 90 if they're not. Old Toxtricity, 120 and poison. Now, on the one hand, I do like that you poison, so that next turn Toxtricity V Max can come in and do extra damage, but by the same token, by the time I've got free energy on here, I'm probably going to have Garbodor out. And then I've just got the poison. So, to put it bluntly, I cannot imagine not playing the new Toxtricity if I'm playing Toxtricity V Max. Just makes perfect sense to me. I do believe this is the better one, and I think it's by a bit of a margin. If you don't want to play Toxtricity V Max, I think you're going to drop this for Tapu Koko. But if you do want to play Toxtricity V Max, and I've explained that that's a pretty nice card, then I do think this is the better option for it. So let's go ahead and give it 3 Wassies. It's not an amazing card, but it's a not bad Pokemon V when you bring in the V Max, and that's really what we're looking for here. As a side note, in yesterday's video, I did point out how Toxtricity V Max has both forms of Toxtricity in the It Evolves From box, and now we have both forms of them. Yay! But I'd like to know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Do you like Toxtricity V Max? If you do you agree that this is the better of the two? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Me nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darn good regardless. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.